Look like there's four of us now sitting at the top. Old Bubby Hub got himself the big win this week. I just can't believe he started Jared Allen over Jared Goff. How you think weird he got so many Jareds on his team? Almost like he got a thing for Jareds. Y'all think he just sits at home in his cabin, waxing his little carrot, thinking about different Jareds?
All right, you degenerates, welcome back. Week 5, brother.
Week 5.
I'm not going to pretend to know how far we are into the season this week because my math is horrible. We all know that after last week. But dude, welcome back to the Degenerate Breakdown. We are here again this week to talk to you guys, our favorite people, and some of our non-favorite people about this week's games, man, and how we did and how everything turned out, man. We had some big wins and losses this week, guys, and our picks were horrible, brother. We're gonna get to that at the end, but woo, we need to get better. But yeah, welcome back, guys. This is fun. We're gonna start off this week just like we do every week. We're gonna talk about last week's breakdown of the games, and we're gonna start out with the one that's closest to my heart, not yours, my friend, obviously, because you took a loss to Sean. Sean 2-2. After this week, and you are now 2-2 after this week. Big game, big loss, 168 to 108, bro. That's a 60-point deficit.
Oh, now you can get your math right.
Yeah. How's that feel? How you feeling about that? How you feeling about this week?
It was a tough loss. Sean had a great team. His team played great this week.
Yeah.
Hawkinson with 40 points.
Woo!
I think he'll win any time he gets 40 out of a tight end.
Yeah.
I think pretty much anybody will win any time you get 40 from a tight end. And the one saving grace in my head, at least, is there's nothing on my bench that could have made any difference. I didn't have enough points to win. So
yeah, I thought I was going to catch you on the shoulda woulda couldas again this week with Rashad Penny putting up 31 on your bench, but even playing him, it wouldn't have helped. You wouldn't have won. So he had a big week, dude.
Congrats, Sean. Nice
win. Big win. Higgins got him 28, Hawkinson 40. The rest of his team was just decent, but those two guys really pushed him over the edge.
Yep.
Yeah,
so I need to bounce back from that.
Yeah, I think you'll be fine next week.
Yeah.
We'll see.
All right. Well, next up, we are going to go to Josh and Ryan. Josh lost 116 to 181. That is a huge number. Anytime you start getting anywhere near that 200, anything above 175 is giant. Josh to 2-2 and Ryan to 3-1. That's tied for the lead.
Ryan's team really produced this week, man. He had guys all over his team putting up double digits. Allen showed up again this week for 24. He got Hall, his rookie, actually got him some points this week. Got him 15. Had a touchdown for him. Derrick Henry, hello, he's back. All of a sudden he's just like, I'm back. Remember me? Mike Williams showed up big with Keenan Allen out again this week. So that was big for him. Yeah, Ryan's team looked really good, and his defense all produced in the double digits, which always is going to help you win games. So
if Ryan would have had the balls to start Jared Goff over who he started in Josh Allen, he would have picked up an extra, I think, 13 points. He would have been right at that 200 mark. So, his team could have actually played better.
Yeah,
that's pretty cool.
Slightly better.
All right, let's move on to the next one. We're going to go to, my two oldest acquaintances, friends, family in this league. Ben against Bobby. Ben, you moved to 2-2. You gave Bobby his first win at 1-3.
I know.
Bobby won 161 to 146. What do you think?
I say it's a lot closer than Bobby was hoping it was going to be. My team really showed up at the end for me. I got, Bosa leading the league in sacks right now. He got me 11, which I was stoked on. Jeff Wilson produced at 14 last night. So I was sitting there last night just biting my nails, thinking I might be able to pull this out and give Bobby that other loss to keep him 0-4, but my team did not do it. I had some holes. London, Deontay Johnson, who Nathan dodged a bullet on this week, didn't do that trade with me, or I didn't do the trade with him, I should say. So he dodged that bullet, and so maybe next week I'll do better. I think I will. I think my guys will produce again, and I'll be taking down whoever I'm playing this week. I have to go look. All right, let's move along. Nice. Next game we are going to look at is Justin at Alex. Justin's 1-3 now, and he took the loss to Alex, who's now 3-1, sitting at the top, the champ, still sitting there. How's that make you feel, brother? Having him sitting at the top of the league. I know how badly you wanted to take Alex, knock him down a peg this year. Are you feeling, with him sitting up there at the top? How do you feel?
He's only one game ahead of me. I got no worries. It's a long season, man. It's like we're an eighth of the way through or something. What would you say? Something like that?
A 16th of the way through,
brother. But yeah, we're about a third of the way through the season and are getting close to it. And yeah, man, I'm coming for him.
Yeah, I mean, Alex's team actually, looked really good. He had Marquise Brown with 20. He got Hill with 29. Mahomes put up 27 for him. His team really, he had some question marks though that, moving forward, he has some serious question marks with the injury to Tua. So we'll see how Alex's team does moving forward, but yeah, good win this week, Alex.
And just before we get some hate mail, my third of the way comment was supposed to be after week 5 for later in the segment. 5 weeks in, third of the way through. I know 4 games, not a third of the way. Shut up, people.
We should tell because the No Math podcast.
Did you say no Matt? What the fuck? You got plans to change?
No. All right.
So next game, we got Adam 3-1, took the win over Joe at 0-3-1. Mr. Joseph still looking for his first win. It was a close game though, 137 to 130. Little foreshadowing. Joe could have pulled this win out. We'll talk about it later.
Yeah, Joe's team was right there, man. I mean, literally 7-point difference, and that's a heartbreaker. Anything under 10 points to me is just always such a heartbreaker because that's like a sack and a fumble away, or something, just something easy. A couple more catches from your guys. He had a big win. He had a big win in a trade this week that really kept him in it. That we can get to a little bit down the road. But McCaffrey showed up for him. Etney not producing.
Etienne
or Etienne, and I always say Etney. Yeah. I always think Etney like the shoes when I see that name. But Etienne, Tyler Lockett only getting him 12. Where did Tyler Lockett go, man? Is it just because he doesn't have the quarterback anymore to throw him the ball? Like he was always a baller.
Wait, doesn't he have a top 10 quarterback right now in the league?
I guess you're probably right, but Tyler Lockett, man, that's the guy. And then he got 12 from Dobbs, and so Joe's team, I think, will have a breakout week sometime in the near future. His pieces are coming together, but I don't think he's just not quite there yet.
Yeah.
All right, the last game of the week, we're going to talk about Nathan versus Steve. Yeah. This was a game that I was sitting there rooting for Nathan the whole time, obviously because I picked him to win. Also because I want to keep Steve down at the bottom of our division. So I'm like rooting for Nate all weekend. 154 to 126. It's a big win. Nathan's 3-1 now. Steve's 2-1. So, Steve's down at the bottom with Joe and trying to eke his way out. And, Nathan's team produced really well this week. He had a lot of guys show up that he didn't have show up in the previous weeks. Although I did have something I want to talk about Nathan's team, and we'll talk about it at the end because there's some question marks moving forward that I'm curious how he's going to really, how he thinks they're going to produce moving forward. So I'm curious. We can break that down with him later. But yeah, I think his team, he might need a little help on his defense but he won. So it doesn't really fucking matter what I say. Good job, Nate.
Well, and I think the pieces you might be questioning, he already traded away today. So
Oh, did he? I must have missed that trade.
Yeah.
I must have missed
We'll
that trade.
We'll
Cool, man. That was our games of the week from last week. Right now, we're gonna quickly. I want to go break down the divisions just because I want to make sure we all know where we're sitting. Left coast, we got Adam at top, tied with Alex at 3-1. 3-1-0, I should say. Sorry. You're sitting there at 2-2-0, and then Bobby's down at the bottom, 1-3-0. Arizona Bay right here. Adam or Ryan sitting at the top, tied with Nathan, 3-1-0. Same breakdown, man. 2-2-0 for Sean, and Justin sitting down the bottom at 1-3-0. So that's interesting. It's chalk right down the line. And then Saddle Creek, I'm sitting at 2-2-0. Josh is at 2-2-0. And then Steve's at 1-2-1. And then Joseph sitting down at the very bottom of the league at 0-3-1. So, there's still a long way to go, brother. So we're going to have to. It'll be
long way to go.
Fun to watch Fun to watch this thing play out. Moving on right along. We're going to get to what we like to call our Shoulda Woulda Couldas of the week. This award goes to our friend Joey Hulu this week.
Yes,
Matt, you can talk about it for a second.
All right. Well, yeah. So, he had a tough call. I get it. The call that he could have made was starting Geno Smith over Tua. Would have scored 34 points is what Geno scored. Would have made him beat Adam 163-137. I know a lot of people will argue that, no way you're going to sit Tua for Geno, but Geno is a top 10 QB this year, and to take that away from him, you just can't do. So, I mean, I think it was a real, maybe a game time decision, but Joe could have got the win, and he didn't. Yeah.
And honestly, you could say that Joe really, there was an argument to be made to sit Tua after the injury, that he was clearly concussed the week prior. Yeah. So, I mean, there is an argument to be made that, sitting Tua for Geno, which you said, boom, Geno is a top 10 quarterback this year. It's not like he had, Mariota sitting on the bench or Flacco or somebody that he, would have been a big question mark. So, yeah, right. I think there is actually an argument to be made that he shoulda, coulda, woulda made the right choice and won.
And he would have got his first win.
That's right. Yeah. Cool, man. Well, good luck, Joe. Moving forward, we'll see if you can make the right decisions.
Come on, Joey Hulu.
All right, guys, let's do it. Our next favorite segment of the week. This is one that we all love because we get to come out and talk to you guys. We're going to go to our high and low. Let's hit it. All right, guys, here we are this week's high score in the high and low. The man, Rye Bread. What's up, Ryan?
Hey, guys, how you doing?
Good.
We're down here at the Evergreen in Colorado. We're spreading the word about the big victory. Everybody's up in arms out here. We're letting everybody in town know. Evergreen, Colorado's going to know about my glorious victory. Here we are. I got my kids helping me out. How's it going telling everybody about my glorious victory?
We're not doing that. I don't know why you branded news put in a camera like this.
It's always nice to have a support of your family
over here. Yeah, it's a buzz. Let's get out on the streets. Let's talk with everybody. I'm excited.
Talk to the people. Tell us how they think about it.
So I had the number one score in my fantasy football league. Just wanted to let you know, 181 points.
Hi.
We beat down this guy, Josh. And Josh is awful. Josh is the worst. Picture like a
terrible.
really sad emo kid dressed in a really provocative bunny suit, flexing at the gym in a mirror. He's awful.
Well, how does she feel about your win, Ryan?
Yeah.
This is Josh.
Mountain people, right?
Mountain people.
Thank you so much.
Thanks, ma'am.
As you can tell, this whole town is just screaming about my victory. And everybody's a youth of America.
Oh, my God. Dude, Ryan, how do you feel about the beatdown? 181, that's a huge number, man. That's a big number.
Yeah, not bad.
Not bad. You got 24 from Allen. You got Derrick Henry to show back up at 23 points. Everybody on your team produced. I was telling Matt, you got double digits from the entire squad. You got to love that.
And everybody's going to know it.
Well, and if you had started the right quarterback, you would have got a lot closer to 200 points.
Yeah, nobody could have saw that coming.
Well, maybe you will next week, buddy.
Well, I mean, Goff, he's been producing, decently all season. So, I mean, he's
got the cops over here.
Oh, let's ask them what they think.
He wants some candy. Eh?
I'm curious what he thinks about your score.
He's on the phone.
Hey, check that bag for fentanyl, sir.
Oh my God.
So, yeah, I mean, it's all about balance, running backs, wide receivers, tight end, quarterback, every one of them consistent, strong. Let's try not to look behind us. Let's try to look forward. Matt, you got a huge week, bud. You are playing the guy that I'm tied with, 3-1 in my division. There's no room for gut checks here, bud. You need to look at the cornerback matchups, make good decisions, and beat Nate.
Oh, yeah.
I got a heck of a matchup with the champ.
Problem.
It's a big week coming up. I don't want to look behind me. I want to look forward.
All the talk out here in Michigan is how Detroit is going to go back to New England and beat Matt Patricia. They're going to bring everything they got. This is going to be the week to start Goff, is what I've been told.
St. Brown's right back, right? You're going to play him?
Yeah, 100%. I play him any week that he's starting.
That's a plus, but they don't have Swift, right? They got Williams in there running it.
Hawkinson.
I don't know. I mean, how do you ever bench
when he plays like that?
How do you ever bench Allen?
Yeah,
how do you pull that trigger of taking Allen off starting quarterback start and putting anybody else on there?
Yeah. It's a tough one. That's a tough one. Well, Ryan, you got anybody else you want to bring on to talk about your team real quick? Or is that it for us?
No, it's breaming out here. Everybody's in a buzz, but
I can see that.
There aren't a whole lot of people out here either. This is fucking evergreen, fucking mountain people. But anyhow, no, I'm excited.
Give us a score.
I'm glad to be on with you guys.
Give us a score prediction for your upcoming game against the champ. What are you thinking?
Oh, say 165 to 169 me.
Woo!
Nice.
165, 169.
Yeah, write that down.
I'm writing that down. All right,
Ryan, we got to run, buddy, but it's great talking to you. Thanks for making time for us.
Yeah, Matt, do good.
Yeah, I will. Just for you, man. Not for myself, just for you.
Bye, guys.
All right, later, man. Thanks, bro. All right, we are here, high and low. This week, our low score, unfortunately, Justin, is you, my friend. Welcome in, dude. Talk to us about how you feel this week about being the low scorer of the league.
How do you think I feel, motherfucker? It doesn't feel very good. I don't know in all of my years of fantasy if I have ever had a more tilting week of football than this. I was projected the highest score. I was projected the biggest differential.
Yeah.
We go into Thursday night football, and I was thinking one of two things happened. Alex is starting 3 Dolphins against me. They're going to crush, and the Dolphins are going to win. And then it's like, okay, fine, I got to come back, but at least the Dolphins are still undefeated. Or they're going to suck. So the Dolphins lose, but I win at fantasy. No. I get pummeled by Dolphins, and they fucking lose, and Tua gets just murdered on the field. We were coming out from behind right off the bat, and then just everybody decided to, take the day off. I go into Monday night thinking I have nothing to root for, but lo and behold, I can root for Bobby Wagner to keep me out of the low score of the week, and comes up 2 points shy from that too. So I'm not happy to be here with you.
He spent all his energy taking out that fan who was running on the field with the pink smoke.
I know. I swear, I want a stat correction. That should be 3 points, and you should be just interviewing Matt. This is bullshit.
Seriously, I mean, honestly, where's the points for that hit? I mean, honestly.
Justin, I appreciate you taking low score because, I was only 2 points away. I was staring at Bobby Wagner all night. I've never looked at one man so much on a football field in my life, dude.
I was doing the same thing too, but then I realized, your linebackers only have like that one or two monster game a season where they like get a pick six or they get like sack, fumble recovery, and the points just shoot up. Like, do I really want to waste that game just so that I don't have to be on the podcast? Like,
yes,
I was debating with myself. Like, do I want him to score so that I only lose by 30, but I don't have to be on the podcast?
Man, yeah, you had some people not perform ideally for you this week. Jalen Hurts, who's been having a fucking stellar year, only put up 11 points for you. You lost Javonte Williams. With the, is he like gone for the season? How long is he out for?
Yeah,
he's on waivers. ACL. Feel free to pick him up. He's on waivers right now. He's all yours. That's the other thing, Javonte. Like, I drafted this with Javonte. Like, I got two guys that I knew would be workhorses in Fournette and Saquon, and I thought Javonte, like, it's gonna take a while for them to realize Melvin Gordon is old and he sucks. And then they did. I don't know if you watched that game, but they did. Javonte had 10 carries, and they were like, Melvin got one, and he fumbled. And they're like, Javonte's our guy. And I was like, finally, the moment I've been waiting for. Dunzo. Out.
Yeah.
Hey, you got to be pretty excited though about the Cordell Patterson injury, because that's Tyler Algier is now going to be the starting running back there, I think. And I was excited. I wanted to trade you a couple weeks ago. I kept looking at our teams to see if I could pull him off your team before he blows up. Or, I mean, I don't think he's a super stud or anything, but I think on that team he's going to be a serviceable guy.
He definitely is. I think he's going to have some looks for a while. That Huntley kid, they gave a pretty decent timeshare with, and then Williams is coming back at some point here soon. So I think I'll have at least a couple good. But those 2 weeks where he's going to be in, it's Tampa Bay and San Francisco. So I don't know. Those are two good run defense.
Well, okay, that's a good point.
Tampa Bay got exposed this week, though. I mean, they got exposed by CEH, which I'm so. And we'll talk about that later. I'm a little sad I didn't take that trade.
I was offered CEH for Javonte before this thing.
Oh!
So that whatever you're regretting. Remember how I said this is the most tilting week ever?
Yes. Andrews only got you 3. Gabe Davis didn't show up, even though Buffalo balled out. Man.
That was the game I was looking the most forward to. You know, the game where you got like a stud on both sides, and it's the entire game you have someone to root for. It was just like, what? Why? Mark Andrews, he's the gigantic beast of a man that you throw to every week where I need it, and it's like, no, they got 5 points between the two of them.
That was tough. Well, at least you got something to look forward to this week, man. You're taking on me. I'm coming off a loss to Bobby. My team didn't show up this week, so
Can both you idiots pick you to win so I have a fucking chance this week? You think we could do that for once? Like,
hey, also Justin, I want to talk to you real quick about this forced bets, because I think you owe Nate 80 right now. What's going on over there?
I don't get it. Football is so stupid. Like the Colts are playing Kansas City. And it's like, Kansas City looks great. The Colts look like shit, except that one game. And then you go to the next week, and it's right back to normal. Like, they just took off the one game that I bet on. And then all of a sudden, like, Kansas City, did you see that little, I have the football. Here you go, touchdown. Like, just whatever you do. Here you go, touchdown. Whatever you want, just touchdown.
Yeah.
Unlimited touchdowns. And the Colts go right back to playing like shit. It's like they only take off the week that I bet on them. The force bets are football's stupid. I quit.
All right, I got one more question for you. I'm getting some comments from people that do not like the trade I made last weekend, trading Justin Jefferson away for Jonathan Taylor. Where do you fall in that trade?
I think they're both the best at their positions. Like, if you need a switch, that's the best way to do it. Like, I like, they were both struggling for a bit, but what's going to happen? Like, they're just going to struggle forever. Like, he's still the best running back in the game. Like, I get it. He's off to a bad start.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
He's one of the best in fantasy. Like, you could do that if you're talking about JJ and Cooper Kupp too. Like, it's one of those, like, if you have to reach into your hat and pick one, like, I'd be satisfied if his name was in the hat.
I think Austin Eckler gets no respect, bro. I think Austin Eckler gets no respect. I think he's by far the top of the list at running back.
What?
Yeah.
Were you saying that after week 3, or is that just because he redeemed himself with 3 touchdowns?
No, I think.
How many did he have before this week?
I just think
I need to put some money on this, brother.
I just think he's the caliber of player. I think the caliber of player Austin Eckler is. And Jonathan Taylor, yeah, he had a good team. He had a good team last year, and he played well, and he produced well. But the quality, like overall quality, you think Jonathan Taylor's better than Austin Eckler?
Okay, I'll ask you this, man. I'll ask you this.
I don't know if he is.
The ball is on the 3-yard line, and the Chargers have the ball. Who's coming in?
What are you talking about?
Who's coming in? It's been Sony Michel and that Kelly kid more often than not this year. Indianapolis Colts are on the 3-yard line. Who's coming in?
They don't have anybody else but Jonathan Taylor.
Naheem Hines.
That's kind of my point, buddy.
No, that doesn't mean anything. That just means that he doesn't have anybody behind him good enough to take his spot. That doesn't mean he's
I
the
would
best.
like to have
So,
the guy
Ben-
who will be in 100% of the time because they don't have anybody else.
Well, he's not going to be. He might not be in this week. Let's see.
So,
He's
Ben, if you
injured.
had the
He is
first pick in a
injured.
snake draft this year, you would have taken Eckler?
Oh, 100%.
Wow. Hot take.
100%.
I'll take it.
I've been trying to get him all year.
Yeah,
I was
and
trying to
this
get
is
him
the
at
guy
the-
that I'm going to lose to this week. This is the guy that I'm going to fucking lose to.
We will see. We will see.
I had the most points in the league through 3 weeks, and I was 1-2. Like, if I can't, I also had the highest low score of the week so far, and it will probably be the highest low score of the week for the season. Every
106.
week, the low score is double digits.
106. It's a pretty. I said that to Matt earlier. I mean, it's unfortunate that you lost at 106. Usually, 106 is a winner. You know, not usually a winner, but you don't usually
winning
lose.
loser.
You don't usually lose
Not
scoring
the
over.
biggest loser.
Not usually scoring over 100 points. You don't usually lose. But you know, it happens
Also,
sometimes.
I have a bet on Dolphins to win the division and to win the Super Bowl and Tua to be MVP, and it felt like it all got slammed into the ground in one foul, like just one. The whole hand thing, like it all for me at once.
Yeah, Tua. Yeah, he's not looking good, bro. Not looking good.
Hopefully they could beat the Jets without him, and then he comes back. But it was fun. I had a fun first 3 weeks. It was like the opposite of Eckler. It was the exact opposite of Eckler's performance.
We will see. I'm gonna get killed by Nathan in this at the end too for saying that. But regardless, all right, Justin. Good luck next week. You're gonna need it, my friend. And
Good. I picked Ben. Can we do the picks real quick? Hold on.
Yeah. Everybody
Ben's got
picked
it
me.
on lock.
Lockdown. All right. See you later, Justin.
Thanks for coming on, Justin.
See you guys.
All right, guys, we're going to move forward to the Matt's Round the League recap. Take it away, brother.
All right, man. Thank you for that. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff to talk about this week. A lot of excitement. I know we'll start off with Dynasty.
Ooh.
And in Dynasty, Bobby finally got off the schneid, beating his projection by 33. He beat me. So, Bobby, congratulations on your first win. And I want to start the segment off with this.
Whoa. He predicted that win, too. Are you glossing over that part? The fact that he came on the show last week and he predicted a win against you in Dynasty and pulled it off.
I was just next note on the sheet was going to be giving Bobby congratulations because he beat you in the main league.
I know.
And me in this league. He called both of them out. So yeah, Bobby, congratulations on wiping the floor with the Conrays this week and getting your first win in Dynasty. So congratulations. And fuck off. So no, I'm just kidding. Love you, Bob. Congratulations.
Oh,
and then
fuck
yeah,
you,
also
Bobby.
Dynasty. A little bit of congratulations to you. You are 4-0, the only undefeated team. Oh, that you weren't wiping dandruff earlier. You were thinking I was talking about you earlier. Okay.
Well, no, I was just getting ready for the congratulatory segment from mine, you know. Yeah, man, I feel good. 4-0. I mean, dude, honestly, if we want to talk real, dude, like I went into this Dynasty thing thinking I had the best team drafted to begin with 2 years ago when we first did this. And I still to this day think I have the best Dynasty team drafted and I have the players to take it all the way. I think last year was a fluke. I should have won last year. This year, I think I will win it. So yeah.
Well, Bobby disagrees with you. If I got to speak for him here,
No.
He told me clearly this summer that Nate's going to win this year because he has the best team. Bobby's going to win next year because the second best team.
Nah.
He didn't even mention you.
Yeah.
So
Well,
yeah, I don't know, but yeah, congratulations, brotr.
Thank you, sir.
And with that, we have the opposite. Our good friend Dre is at 0-4.
Oof.
Man, is he even setting lineups? I don't know. I don't look that closely at his team, but Dre, man, come on, buddy. 0-4. Got to do better. Got to do better. Make some trades. And then that's the other thing I was going to talk about in Dynasty. is not a lot of trades are happening this year. I did pull off a trade, not pulled off a trade. I did a trade today with Bobby. I'm not even happy about the trade. I didn't even really want to make the trade, but I had no third QB that could play.
Yeah.
And he ended up having a fourth, with the guy from Pittsburgh getting called up to play.
Yeah. Pickett.
So I took Daniel Jones for Devin Singletary. I just don't think Singletary's going to have any kind of steady production. He can disappear at any time when Josh just wants to throw. Lots of other guys running there. So I just didn't think he was great long-term value in Dynasty. And if Daniel Jones can do even a little bit of what Josh Allen did with that same coach last year, which I know he's not going to be Josh Allen, but if he can just become 50% better than he was, I think it's a good move for my Dynasty team. So I have a solid backup quarterback now.
Daniel Jones is hurt right now, though, isn't he? Isn't he?
Ankle injury, but they're not counting him out for this week. So
questionable.
They said he should be able to play.
Yeah, questionable for week 5, ankle injury.
And I'm not going to play him. So the other reason I did it is, and you have to check me on my stats, but my Lamar Jackson, Tom Brady buys are either 9 and 10 or 10 and 11. And Daniel Jones plays like Houston and Arizona, I think. So just 2 easy matchups for him. So really, I'm only going to play in those 2 games, hopefully this year, and they're great matchups. So it gets me through my bye weeks. So,
10 and 11. Those are your 2 buys from your main quarterbacks.
So, like I said, it's not a set the world on fire kind of trade, but that's what it is.
Hey, you got to. Sometimes you just got to make a trade to get the right pieces, just so you can feel the team. You know what I mean? So
and it leaves me really, really thin at running back. There's no doubt about that. But quarterbacks have a lot longer longevity in this league, so I figured in a super flex dynasty league, I had to go for the quarterback when I had the opportunity.
Yep.
So,
or you could have thought ahead and drafted 2 studs like I did,
like Tom Brady and Lamar Jackson.
No, like Justin Herbert and Kyle Murray. 2 young.
Oh, Kyler Murray, the guy I taught you into keeping last year. You're about to give away for peanuts. Yeah, I know.
Yeah. I had the forethought to draft him, though. That's the thing.
And the forethought to ask your brother before you made the trade. Good job, brother.
Yeah.
No, I'm just... All right, man. Let's move on over to the Guillotine League.
Yeah.
We're done talking about Bobby, but we're not done talking about Megan. She had 2 teams in the league, and she's out after 4 weeks. Both teams done. This is a team she claims that she made a mistake in drafting because it was called the 2 tight end monster. She had Kelsey and Andrews on that team when you could put them in a flex, but you only needed 1 tight end.
Yeah.
So she kind of handcuffed herself from the beginning, but so she's out. So this week we have Kelsey, Andrews, and Godwin up for bid. According to what I read from Nate earlier, he's going to spend $500 on 1 tight end, $499 on the other. There's no way he's bluffing. Guys, make sure you outspend him tonight. Spend. His limit is 500. Go 501. Somebody get those guys. All right. That league's a lot of fun. Oh, and a little PSA right here. For those that aren't paying attention to the thread, roster size or bench size increases by 1 tonight, so you can pick up an extra guy without dropping somebody.
Is that something that incrementally increases throughout the season, like a Annie in a poker game?
Yeah. I think week 6, so 2 weeks out, I think we're going to start another Guillotine League, brother, and just do it from week 7 on to the end of the year. So maybe you can get in that one and have some fun playing with us.
Yeah, Nathan's been telling me about that one, so I think that would be fun. It does sound like a lot of fun. I mean, it does it's like the little nuances to it. It makes it a little more interesting.
It's fun. Definitely.
Moving on to our forced bets.
All right, so here on to the forced bets. All right, we had Nate this week cheering for the Saints, the Jags, the Bengals, and the Texans. Everybody lost except Joe gave him the Bengals, and they won. Nate made all of us cheer for the Patriots, which is just sucky. But that was also a good choice. So not a lot of movement this week. Currently, the standings are Ryan owes Nate 20, Justin owes Nate 80. Whew. Joe owes, I think, is that right? $120 Joe owes him? Joe's just having a bad year in all forms of betting and fantasy, it sounds like. But and then me and Sean are even with Nate. So, Nate's up $220 right now. Sean and I are out nothing. So that was a lot of fun.
I'm surprised, honestly, that you guys have not started betting on our league specifically. I know we are betting on it, but not like actual like betting per week on each of?
We do some. There's side bets. They happen sometimes. I think Bobby's trying to pull off a side bet right now with Josh. I think $50.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I'm just
it
a
does
little.
happen sometimes.
I know it happens sometimes, but I just assumed by now this far into the league that there would be some sort of, you guys betting on each other, throughout the week, every week. But
yeah,
it's
a lot of fun. And the last thing I want to touch on in this section is the trades that have happened since last week. Obviously the big one is me and Joe. I gave away Justin Jefferson for Jonathan Taylor.
Yeah.
I think, and I think some people agree with me, that's a no-brainer bet. You have to make it. There's 3 weeks into the season when I made the bet. Running back points are more predictable than wide receiver points. JT is the number 2 player in the league, probably behind CMC. Justin Jefferson is 6, 7, 8, somewhere in there. So anytime you can trade the 6th or 7th best player for the 2nd best player, heads up, you're always going to do that, I think. So man, I absolutely love the trade. Love the trade.
Okay, so when you are going to look at that trade, though, like, do you take into account how their teams are producing at the moment, how the actual team is playing, not just where they are in the rankings as far as like, yeah, he's the number 2 player, but how are his teams performing in the actual games? I mean, like, because if you looked at his numbers, he hasn't been killing it by any means this year. Jonathan Taylor
started the exact same way last year.
Okay, so you're basing it off. You're basing it off what you've seen in the past.
I'm basing off that the first 3 weeks of the season, it's Matt Ryan, and they're getting used to each other. And there's no way I'm going to take a guy down from the number 1 or 2 spot after 3 weeks. It's just game plans or matchups or something. It's way too small of a sample size to knock him off that number 2 spot in the league. He was drafted as the number 1 or 2 guy. Nothing has changed that. So
okay, I mean, other than his score producing actual,
Justin
number.
Jefferson had 2 crappy weeks in a row.
He did
under 15 points.
He started off with a big game
with 40,
and then he had 2 bad weeks, and now he went at 33 again. So it's like,
yeah,
I'm just curious how that, like, when you think about your trades and stuff, are you taking into account the actual how their team, not just them, 100%. Are playing?
Yeah,
okay. That's cool.
And I talked to Nate earlier in the week, and I said Justin Jefferson, I think he'll have more games closer to his 40-point game than his lower 12 and 15-point games.
Yeah,
I wasn't taking anything away from Justin Jefferson either. I'm going to take the number 2 running back anytime I can get him on something like that. So yeah, no, I think I had Jefferson for his best game of the season and probably his 2 worst. So
yeah, and then you picked up.
Hopefully, I have all of Jonathan Taylor's good games in front of me.
Yeah, and then are you concerned about him getting nicked up this week a little bit?
No, they're saying he may even play Thursday. I thought he might sit out another week, but yeah, he may sit out on a short week. But no, I'm good where I am.
Okay,
I like it.
I was curious. I mean, I haven't had a chance to really talk to you about it. So I was kind of just wondering where your thought process came into play.
Yeah. No, I know there's some blowback. Some people think I made a bad choice, but all good. And the other trade that happened just today before we started, which I was blowing him up about, I thought it was a terrible trade and a great trade for Nate. Josh gave Nate Terry McLaurin for Michael Gallup and Antonio Gibson. Gallup, number 2 on his team. Antonio Gibson lost his job in preseason. The only reason he got the starting job back is because Brian Robinson was shot multiple times. He is back. He's going to be starting this week. Does he get full workload week 1? Maybe not, but he is the number 1. They already gave him the job. He's going to be the number 1 again. And also Antonio Gibson, if my memory serves me right, he was down to like 44% snap count last week, which is the lowest of his career. And they were giving 2nd and 3rd string guys, not even McKissick, some other dude, I don't remember his name, giving him 8 or 10 touches. So they were like prepping already to take Gibson out of the lineup. They even did it a week before they had his replacement ready. So I just think Antonio Gibson is going to be a backup punt returner the rest of the year, as he was looking like in preseason. And so therefore, I mean, Nate got a, top 10 or 12 wide receiver for backups. So it was an amazing trade for Nate.
Yeah, I thought the same thing when I saw it. I was like, Nate pulled off another one. You know what I mean? Gallup hasn't done anything really significant this year, and he might not, at all. I mean, we don't know. He has skills. He's potentially a good second string or second wide receiver, but who knows? And then Gibson, like you all just laid out, we know where he's going to end up. When Robinson comes back. So yeah, I think
just to clarify, I'm not down on Gallup at all. He is the clear backup on that team. CeeDee Lamb is obviously the number one.
Yeah, that's what
I almost traded for him yesterday. If I didn't have CeeDee Lamb on my team, I told Nate I probably would have pulled the trigger on that trade for Melvin Gordon, but I hate having two receivers on the same team. So I didn't for that one reason, but not because I think Gallup's going to be bad. I think he's going to make CeeDee Lamb better when he gets there. And I think he'll probably be a, top 24 wide receiver the rest of the year. Maybe.
We'll see. I haven't seen enough from him yet this year to be like stoked.
You haven't seen? Yeah, he only played this week.
Yeah. So we'll see.
Nice. Well, that's what I got for this week, brother.
Old Booby Hoop got himself his very first win this week. Hats off to you, Booby. The old champ know what a 1 and a 3 feel like, just not in that order. Who'd he play again this week? Oh, someone tell old Benny Bebop it's okay to take a minute and look at the scoreboard before recording the whole thing about it. This week he looked more confused than my cousin with no arms trying to watch porn. He looks just like a homeless man who just got sentenced to house arrest. He just doesn't know what to say about it. Now, champ's no expert, but you could take yourself a note or two before you hit the record button. Like your brother. Speaking of Mitty Conway, y'all see him trade his best player this week? Man, dadgummit. Must have had himself a bad weed evening, if you know what I'm saying. Damn near had to interview himself for the low score. If it weren't for the guy playing champ. Mitty, you're welcome. I guess there's just some things we won't ever understand. If y'all need me, I'll be over at the fire sale for old Christy McCaffey. That's all from Champ. Keep winning.
All right, guys, we're going to move it on to our last segment before we get to your guys' favorite part of this podcast, which we all know because I heard about it all week. Keep the commissions correction report. All right, before we get to that, though, we're going to go look forward to this week's games and talk about what we predicted from last week's games and how we're looking in our picks moving forward, which I can already tell you is not good.
It's not looking good, brother.
It's not looking
good. Right now, our records sit at, you were at 6-11, 353 average, and I am even worse at 4-13, 235 average. You've won 2 games. You picked 2 games right every week. I picked 1, 2, and 1. We got to change it up. This is embarrassing. I'm predicting I will go 6 for 6 this week.
Woo!
Let's talk about some games.
You heard about that, buddy. 6-6. Woo! All right. Well, I'm not going to make that kind of prediction for myself, but I will do better. I promise. This week's, we're going to run through it. We're just going to run through it. Right now, top first game, Nate versus Matt. I'm going to take Nate on this one. His team is clicking. He's got a few question marks in Carr versus Kansas City, and his cup still. Let's be real. His quarterback could not stay off the fucking ground in last night's game. So Cooper Kupp's value is a little down, in my opinion. I know he's still considered one of the best receivers in the league, but I don't know. We'll see how Nate's team develops, but I am picking him to beat you this week.
Yeah, I don't know how I'm supposed to make this pick. I'm either a homer or weenie jinxing or whatever. There's no right way to do it in this league. It seems like whatever I say is going to be wrong. But I'm going to make the right pick. I pick Nate.
There you go. You have so many injuries too this week. It was kind of,
team's red right now.
It was kind of an easy choice. All right, so let's move it right along to our next game of the week is Bobby versus Josh. I'm going to take Bobby in this one. His team, might be fakers, but I think he might actually pull off another win this week against Josh. And Josh's team just has too many non-producers, in my opinion. So I'm taking Bobby.
Well, that does not make me happy because my note right here says I'm exhausted of picking against Bob for the win. So I'm with you. God damn it.
I know.
I want to pick the same, but
I know. All right, let's move it along to our next game of the week. Ryan at Alex. we just talked to Ryan on our high score. He's very, very confident in his team this year.
Well, the whole city of Evergreen is behind him.
Yeah, it's the whole city, man.
Not his kids, but
not his kids, but it's buzzing. It's buzzing. I'm going to take Alex in this one. Even with no Miami players, with no quarterback, and his Miami players may take a hit. I think Bridgewater comes in and actually plays well. So I don't think Alex's team is going to really take that much of a hit. So I'm going to take Alex over Ryan this week.
Okay. Well, I'm glad we're going to do it different here. Basically the same reason or in the same vein. I'm going to take Ryan. I think Alex's Miami duo is going to be muted without Tua. So that's the reason I'm going to take Ryan.
All right, cool. We'll see how that one pans out. Let's go on to Adam at Steve. Steve lost some key players this week in Cordell Patterson on his team, which he was really, producing well for him. I think Adam's team is just going to continue to roll. He's 3-1 and his team doesn't seem to be slowing. So I'm going to go Adam this week.
Yeah, I think I'm in the same choice. What is Steve's record this year? Oh yeah, 1-2-1, only one win. Yeah, I'm gonna go with Adam.
All right. Let's move it on to Justin versus me. I actually think that my team is going to flip it around this week. And I know it sounds like a homer pick, but I'm going to take myself this week. I don't think my team produced up to its part or its, complete status or, played up to its top level potential. Damn, I couldn't think of the word.
Good.
So I think I'm gonna take the win, and I think Justin's gonna not produce. So he's gonna have another bad week.
For one reason alone, I'm gonna pick Justin. I think that Jalen Hurts, after his down week last week playing in the rain, he's going to Arizona. I think something happened and they only start 9 guys on defense, or that's how it seems anyways. So Hurts is gonna smash number 1 QB. I think he's going to easily put up 4 touchdowns. So yeah, that's going to give Justin the win over you.
Damn, that would hurt if that happened. I'm banking on my team. All right, let's move to the last game of the week. Sean versus Joe. Joe's team is just not looking good, man. He's hurting. Sean's team has good matchups. I was checking out his matchups. I'm really excited about his matchups. And Joe, he still needs he traded away his running back who is on your team now, who is hurt and didn't produce for you. I think Joe needs running back help again to get his team back to where he hopes it will be. So I'm going Sean.
Okay. Well, I like that you pick Sean because that means we can differ again. I just feel Joe this week. He started, in a nice play last week. And I just think that he has the pieces. Also, it's going to be law of averages. Joe's going to win eventually. Yeah, I'm going to be on the week where he is.
Yeah, I knew you were going to. You did that twice this week. You went with teams that could win just because they've been losing.
The last 3 weeks, I picked all the teams I thought would win, and they all lost. So
yeah.
Fuck, I'm going the other way. I was going to say, let's go, Joe. Get the win.
All right, guys. Let's see how this turns out. We'll see if we can do better this week. I know everybody's been busting our balls about our picks, so let's hopefully we turn it around and actually act like we know what we're talking about.
6 for 6 this week. Book it, he says. 6 for 6. All right, guys, your favorite segment of the podcast is coming to you right now. Come on in, Kamish. Let's see it.
Gentlemen.
Hey.
Thank you for having me once again.
Yeah, man, you were like the most talked about episode or part of our podcast last week. So
I think people like when I point out all your mistakes because they're sitting at their homes watching TV or watching it on their phones and they're yelling at you guys saying, "How dare you say that?" And I come on here and say what they want to say to you. So
are they sending you like a script ahead of time that you got to work into this?
All right, so I got a couple things for you guys this week. One thing I want to point out. Ben, earlier when you were talking about Joe's team, you mentioned Tyler Lockett. He only scored 12 points this week, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you said, I don't know what happened to this guy. He used to be a baller every week. Do you want to take any guesses over the last 2 seasons, so 2021, 2020, how many times did Tyler Lockett score 12 or less?
6 times.
50% of the time.
18 times.
Oh, 50% of the time. I was right.
Sorry, I cut off Matt. 18 times, 10 times last year and 8 times the year before that. With a stud quarterback throwing him the ball, Tyler Lockett has always been inconsistent. He's one of these guys he'll break the top off the defense. He'll catch the big touchdown. But if he doesn't do that, he's going to fuck you that week.
It always seems though
he's the definition of boom and bust.
Absolutely.
He always seems to me though. I'm always like, oh, there's another 44-point game from Tyler Lockett. You know what I mean?
You guys mentioned earlier that Joe should have benched Tua, especially after having the concussion. I want to take that one step further.
Okay.
I'm going to say Joe's decision to play Tua 4 days after a concussion was just as irresponsible as the Dolphins' decision to play him. Joe should be fired, just like the neurological doctor they fired. That was irresponsible, and we should all shame him for that.
I agree.
Shame, Joe.
That's right.
Shame.
Speaking of coulda, woulda, shoulda, I have a new segment idea for you guys. How about coulda, woulda, shouldn't have?
That's all.
I'd be on that list this week.
So, I know
Multiple
I praised the trade between Joe and Matt. I had mentioned in the text thread that I thought Matt won that trade.
Yeah.
But during your guys' coulda, woulda, shoulda segment, you guys mentioned that even though Matt left Penny on the bench and it wouldn't have helped, let's do something else here. What if Matt had 31 from Penny and 33 from Jefferson instead of playing Dortch and Taylor?
Oh,
that's an extra 61 points. How many points did you lose by, Matt?
Probably
60.
less than that.
60.
You lost by 60.
Oh.
Yeah, I get it. Hey, I know you don't think it was a bad trade though. So I like
trade.
your fun with math, but yeah.
Horrible timing. You probably should have taken my trade instead, to be honest with you.
No.
Well, I should have taken your trade too, man. I'm kicking myself all Sunday thinking, watching Deontay Johnson do nothing and then watching CEH fucking go crazy. I was just like, God damn it, man. And I'm going to say what you said. Scared money don't make money, dude. And that was
That's right. Scared money don't make money. And by the way, Ben, you're not alone on that one. There's about 5 guys in this league that I was talking to about trading CEH, and they were all kicking themselves on Sunday.
You even said it though. You even said you didn't play him because you were in the same boat as us. He was supposed to have a bad week. Tampa Bay's been kicking ass at run defense. So like you even didn't start him. I
didn't play him, but I got him still. All right, I'm going to wrap it up pretty quick here, guys. Ben, you mentioned Cooper Kupp's value is down because his quarterback can't stay off the ground. I guess you must have missed that he set a new career high of 14 catches yesterday. He's never done that before in his entire career. Did it yesterday.
That's surprising to me. He's never had 14 before.
Yeah.
How many points did he have though?
I don't know exactly. Let's see. It was enough for me to win. So that's all that matters.
That's all that matters.
He had 29 fantasy points.
Okay.
So I'm not sure that his value is down necessarily.
Not down, but
Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah, okay.
I'm not going to bust your balls too much about Eckler. I could see your point there.
Thank you.
I do have a question for you guys. How did Justin get a hotel room with dolphin colored lamps?
Dude, beyond me.
How much did he pay for the dolphin suite? That's what I want to know.
It's amazing. For the teal? Can I get the teal suite, please? You motherfuckers.
Very well done.
Which nickname did you guys like better? 0-3 for Bobby, who went 0-3 in both of his leagues?
Yeah.
Or the new one, Joe-3.
I liked Joe and 3. I thought that was clever.
Joe and 3.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
Joe and 3. Anyways, I got a couple things written down here, but we've been running kind of long, so I'm gonna save these ones for next week.
Perfect.
Great pod as always, guys. I appreciate the time.
Yeah, man.
And I'm out.
Thanks for being here with us.
Thanks, bud.
Appreciate it.
Guys.
All right, guys, we're going to wrap this up. Thanks again for listening and spending your time with us. We'll do it again next week. Brother, you got anything else?
That's 5 in the books.
5.
5.
That's it for the Degenerate Breakdown, baby. That's a wrap.
What's happening, Degenerates? It's the Vulture here. Just checking in. Looks like a couple of teams of Vulture should be circling here. Justin and Joe have the Vulture hanging over them. You need a season off to kind of recoup, regroup, I'm here. I'm available. The Vulture circling.